Hello, good evening. Today we're looking at something really interesting that people tend to not really think too much about, and that is the fossils, the fossil record. The fossil record tells us something very alarming and very um, important, but people sometimes don't associate warnings and stuff with fossil record. So we'll take a look at what the fossil record is warning us about and what we can find out from the fossil record. Because a lot of things we're told and taught from schools is not really true at all. What evolution and stuff teach you about evolution and dinosaurs and fossils, that's all baloney and malarkey. It's not true at all. It's not even real science. Let me show you something what I mean. See, this is a fossil. When you go out and look in fossils, you find rock. It has animals in there. Whereas this has got shellfish and diatoms and stuff in here. But you can find fossils. I have fossils of dinosaur bones and stuff, kind of stuff. But fossils tell us a lot about a particular thing, and we'll get that for a second. But the fossils, when I was taught in school system about fossils, simply what evolution is telling, and I call it a myth. They say an animal dies, is covered up quickly, sediment grows into it, and water goes in through time, it becomes rock hard, becomes a fossil. This whole thing is about dying and being covered up as quickly and stuff is not true. It's a total myth. It's a total myth. The real reality is fossils are not dead organisms, but living organisms. Living organisms. We have fossils of fish eating other fish. We have fossils of dinosaurs fighting other dinosaurs. We have fossils of dinosaurs sitting on the eggs. We have eggs being hatched. So dinosaurs died in a very quickly. They were covered up very quickly with water and silt and minerals. So we have be covered up quickly, and what the sediments they have to have water and pressure. The pressure of be covered up presses it together and presses the minerals together and it preserves them. So everything you're taught about, you go to museums, go to dinosaur places, they show you about the fossils. Everything that they talk about fossils is incorrect. Not correct. They're lying to you. The fossil record is a record of a snapshot of time of real living animals that were died up in a very quick fashion by a giant flood. We have fossils of like a giant wall found recently found a giant wall of rock and dinosaurs of different species all jumbled up together. That shows you that something turbulence, something catastrophic happened to make these fossils together like that, which again is the flood. So God says he will bring judgment to earth again. So he brought judgment to earth years ago with the flood. So we know that the flood is real. We have so much geological, so much fossilized information stuff. We got a lot of information that the flood is real. We know where Noah's Ark is, or how big it is. We got all this information, but people don't account for it and think about what it's saying to us. The fossils are saying the same things the Bible is saying. Is that God sends punishment and destruction and judgment upon the wicked. And now we're living in this world today. There's a lot of wickedness and stuff coming in, and we're not paying attention with the lessons of the fossils. So God sent judgments against the wicked with the flood. Now He's going to do it again, but not with a flood, but with fire. So judgment is going to come at some point in time to planet Earth, Earth can be wiped out of fire. Now everybody can get up arms and they can go freak out and go about climate change, climate warming and stuff. It doesn't matter because God is in control. The flood tells us one thing very, very profoundly and very powerfully, is that judgment of God has a price. How many people thought Noah was a lunatic on conspiracy theory of nut because he was building a boat in the middle of nowhere? The same today. You speak out against all the evil in our society. People come and make fun of you, try to deplatform you, all kinds of stuff, social media and stuff, because people don't want to know the real truth. It's like you go to school and they tell you, this is all this stuff about fossils, how it's made, naturally and stuff. But you cannot make a fossil naturally. If you take your hamster out here died and bury it, it will never become a fossil. No matter how hard you try to make the dead hamster into a fossil, you cannot do it because it doesn't happen naturally. Fossils are not made naturally. They're made through catastrophe. And so we have to understand there is a price to pay for wickedness. And that's what the fossil's telling us. But we're listening to the fossils, are listening to what God is telling us. We are listening to the world telling us that wickedness is okay, evil is okay, corruption is okay, I'm okay, you're okay. We have to understand the fossils are telling us there was time of judgment upon earth like we never imagined. Imagine the force of water coming from. Water is very powerful. Waterfalls are very cool, but the force of water can do so much damage. And you got all this turbulence and the water coming up, water coming down, earth shaking, and the floods and the silt and the mud and thing pressing down. The amount of turbulence to make a fossil can only happen through catastrophe, not naturally. So we have to understand that God is in control. And we should take comfort of that, but also take warning of that too. So as we think about your life, how close you are to God, and consider being closer to God, because time is ticking. The clock is ticking. We're getting closer every day to the return of Christ. And no matter what you say, what you think you know, you're not going to be ready unless you spend time with God. Have a great week. God bless.